You are having a breakthrough right now. You are stepping into a new chapter in your life, and like, it's not that new to you because you've already been stepping into new chapters repetitively. So you're not new to the newness. In fact, you have gotten very comfortable within the transformational process of change. You have been embracing change very quickly, and you're a very adaptable person. You take the challenge of change and the uncomfortability of the growth that it takes to become something new, and you eat that like a champ. Like, you were just so devoted to who you want to become that you take action very quickly to make change for your life. You could be seen as a very innovative person, someone who has a lot of ideas, someone who can bring these ideas into their reality without too much lingering. Like, you might feel like you procrastinate, but the procrastination is really divine guidance to rest, because you need time to process and rejuvenate and come back to your center. So anytime that you are not doing, you are taking that time to settle within yourself and really decide what you want next, what your next step will be. Sometimes love changes the course of a life. So what you thought you wanted might not be what's actually going to bring the most growth into your life, and it might have helped you transition through a period of time, but sometimes we're ready for new transformations that can no longer be given to you in your current circumstances. So you have to follow the feeling of love that brings you to a new part of your transformational journey. And when you're going through this transition, you have to remember self-compassion. You have to have compassion for not only you, but the other people around you who are also on the journey. And this compassion can come through in many different ways. It could look like when you're feeling angry or sad, instead of projecting that onto another person, you might choose to be quiet. And this is an act of compassion, because rather than acting from a place of pain, you choose to allow that pain to settle. You feel that pain and you sit with that pain without projecting that pain onto other people. And it's not to say that you're keeping it bottled up. It's just you go to other ways to process your pain other than dumping it in the hands of others that may not know how to deal with that pain. They don't know how to get you through that process. They might not know the right words to say, because sometimes there's not a lot of words to be said. Sometimes it's about listening to the pain that you're feeling within and deciding what it's trying to tell you, rather than hearing what other people have to say to try and will that pain away. Because if you share your pain with other people, yes, sometimes people will sit with you in that pain and be patient as you try and process that pain, and that is a blessing. But a lot of people might not feel comfortable sitting with you in that pain, and not because they're bad people, but because maybe they haven't sat in their own pain and know how to comfort somebody who is sitting in their pain. So they might try and cheer you up or get you to not think about the pain, or like try and like uplift you. And yes, it's definitely always appreciated when other people put an effort to uplift you. But if you need to process something to make a change in your life that your pain is trying to show you, then ignoring that pain, trying to forget it, is not going to get you to take the inspired action necessary to make the transformation towards a life where that pain is no longer affecting you to the degree that it currently is. It takes a lot of self-knowledge to talk yourself through a process where it's feeling like constrictive, it's feeling like you're small, it feels like hurt, it feels something that is undesirable. To sit with yourself when you feel undesirable instead of running away it's something to celebrate, honestly. It's something that honestly is not taught as much as it could be. So when you take the time to teach yourself that, you bring an opportunity to help teach others about it as well, because once you learn something and you're good at something, you have the capacity to help others learn and become good at it as well. We are all alive, but not all of us live each moment with vitality. And this is extremely possible. It's very possible to remember the vital pulse that is within us at all moments. But it's not something that we have been trained to remember. So we have to kind of decide what we're going to remember more of, because a lot of the times we remember and recall events that made us feel very powerful emotions, and a lot of the time those emotions are not always joyful memories. These are emotions tied to memories that we associate with traumatic experiences. But if we choose to remember more joyful experiences, then we can come back to joy more often. And this is the mindset shift. The experiences that we're remembering that are joyful need to be experiences accessed without outside conditions. So this is like, I was listening to a podcast or like a YouTube video, I think it was actually, and they were saying, the speaker was talking about how outside conditions should not be the main factor in our mood. Like, we can create our mood through observing. So this means finding the joy in our current circumstances by observing our current reality instead of thinking about a joyful memory from like a circumstance in which no longer we have access to. So, for example, if you have an ex that you had a really good time with and you want to remember joy in this now present moment, so you think about a joyful date experience that you went on with this ex. That joy is not sustainable because you will remember the joy associated with a condition that no longer exists right now. And remembering a joyful memory with someone who is no longer in your life is going to make you more aware that they are no longer in your current reality. And that could bring the opposite effect that we're trying to achieve. So, a better thing to remember is that you have access to cold, clean drinking water. And this might not seem like a joy at first, but it truly is a joy to be able to go to your fridge and pull out some water and just know that you, first of all, you can afford a fridge, you have a refrigerator. That's a blessing. You have electricity. You have clean water to drink. There's literal wars happening. People are living in dirt. They have to walk miles to find clean water to drink. And you just need to get out of your bed. That is a joyful memory. That is something that you can access joy right now. Remember that you are blessed. There's so much to appreciate, so much to be grateful for, and it's here for you already. So just continue trying to remember the joy that you can access now.